iRock Radio, the world headquarters of rock. It is Karolyi backstage at Rockin' Derby, upstate New York.
With Paolo from Trivium.
How are you, man?
I'm doing very well.
It's nice to see you. Now, we're based out of Connecticut, and we've seen you actually a couple of times now on this last tour at the Webster Theater in Hartford. Saw you on the Hard Drive Live tour with Tremonti, and we saw you again just recently coming through with Seven Dust. And the energy in those theater shows is pretty cool. Is there a difference for you as a band when you're playing a theater show, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 seaters, as opposed to the energy here? I know obviously a much bigger audience at a festival, but describe what it is for a band when you're on stage in that kind of intimate, intense environment.
I mean, with the club, you kind of contain that sort of energy, and if the crowd's really good, I guess it's more of a concentrated version of that. You know, you can definitely get that at festivals. It comes down to the crowd and the band. I mean, some days you'll get an audience that maybe is not as energetic, still enjoying it, but you just kind of have to bring the energy yourself. But it always helps when the crowd is going wild as well.
Mm-hmm. You know, as a radio guy, I've just had a couple of moments where you go up on stage, you do a stage announcement, you get that reaction from the crowd just for those few seconds. And for me, puts you on this adrenaline rush. I can't imagine what it's like for you as an artist. You get that every night. Yeah. It's got to be hard when the tour is done to kind of wean off of that. Yeah. Is that true?
I mean, you never get over the excitement of playing in front of a crowd, but I guess it becomes part of like your normal everyday life. So I guess we enjoy it in a different way where we don't feel like this rush of like terror being in front of an audience, right. But you're used to it and you're happy being up there and seeing people having fun. I mean, when I get home, I just enjoy like having time to rest. Mm-hmm. So I've never felt like I need to like decompress or, you know, you try to just enjoy that time at home for what it is, you know, and not get, slip into any weird stuff when you get off tour. I know some guys maybe have that problem, but I think the weirder thing is like driving when you go home. If you haven't driven a car in a while, like it's kind of weird to drive when you go home. That's the weirdest thing for me to get used to.
And when you're on the road, everything's scheduled out for you too. So when you go home, it's like
pretty highly scheduled at home as well. Yeah, I try to keep into a normal routine, you know, and that definitely helps. I think if you get home and, you know, unless you're jet lagged, if you're waking up late and just in a weird routine, I like to try to, you know, we have 1 week at home after this. This is our last show, so I want to make the most of each day while I'm there.
For sure. Congratulations on the most recent album.
Thank you.
Mean, we've been playing, you know, Dead and Gone and When the World Goes Cold on iRock Radio, and the listeners love it.
Awesome.
And you guys have been killing it for years, but there's something a little bit different about this album that seems like radio in general has embraced you more. What was the difference between previous songs and these songs?
We've had, like, the last two records before this, we had a bit of minor success with Strife on Vengeance Falls and on In Waves. I think we had Built to Fall, do pretty decent, kind of cracked the top 40. And it's kind of been a slow progression, you know, but this record, we just made a real concerted effort to focus in on the songwriting and really push the melody backed with, like, heavier songs, backed with the riffs, backed with the things that we've always had. Just really let the vocals take the forefront, and it seems like that song, Until the World Goes Cold, in particular, was just one that latched on right away. And when we delivered the record, you know, we kind of had our thoughts of, like, maybe what would be the first single, and coming from guys that are, you know, we're rooted in metal, we love metal, we're metalheads to the core. You know, we were like, all right, like maybe we'll come out with this song. It's a little heavier and this and that. And, you know, the label right away honed in on Until the World Goes Cold. We're like, we really think this is going to be a great entry point for you guys in this record with radio. So we're like, well, we trust you guys, let you guys do your thing. And, I mean, you can put a song out there, and we put out singles. But when we...
that crap?
Oh, yeah. When you put out a song, you never know how it's going to do. It's up to the fans, you know, to judge whether it's a song that's going to hit or not. And this time, thankfully, people really have been responding to it. And we can tell right away on these festivals the difference. Just having that one song crack the top 10, you just have this whole new audience that's like, oh, this band's cool. I want to check them out.
Right. It's kind of cool how that works. It's amazing, you know?
Yeah.
So the obligatory question, I guess you say this is the last show for a bit. Got to ask, what's down the road? Maybe you don't even know, but what would you say is the schedule ahead for Trivium?
Well, we go to Europe next week. We're going to be doing pretty much the same thing we've been doing this month, except in Europe.
Yep.
Festivals, a couple one-offs, a couple off dates, one with Megadeth, one with Disturbed. And then in the fall, we come back and we're going to have a headlining tour in the U.S.
Awesome.
And we should be announcing that fairly soon, so anyone wondering what we're doing, keep an eye on the internet.
You could announce it now if you like.
I don't have everything set in stone yet, so I don't have dates. But
we gotta
September,
try.
October, probably when we'll be back out here.
Awesome. Well, we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
And anytime you come through Connecticut, we'll be there to support you. We love the band and just continued success.
Thank you very much.
And thanks for hanging with us on iRock Radio, the world headquarters of rock.